You are now listening to Playbook Radio. Here is your host, Martin Williams.
And welcome to Playbook Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, and soon on YouTube Podcasts as soon as I figure out how to upload it. Today, what I wanted to talk to you about is not doing the pre-work before you start every day. Playbook principle number 6 says that faith is the pathway through which our dreams come. And faith is very important if you're going to do anything of worth in this life, anything that you've never done before. If you're going to do anything exceptional, you have to have faith. You have to have faith in yourself. You have to have faith in your ability. You have to have faith in God or whatever you call your higher power. You have to have faith in the people around you, and you have to have faith that you can do it. And so a lot of people, because they don't realize that faith is an important component, they just ignore it altogether. But faith is something that you can build. Okay, it's like anything else. Just like you can build a muscle, you can build faith. Okay, and what I typically do in my daily practice is I do a series of what's called faith statements. And what these statements are, you can call them affirmations. And basically what I do is that I speak what I want to happen for that day and for my life, right? So it may not be a short-term goal. It may be something that's a longer-term goal, but I'm building my faith up to take that journey. For instance, when I needed to go back to school, graduate school, I didn't have the money to go. Okay, I didn't have the money for tuition, and I couldn't borrow anymore. So I was in a position where, I didn't have the means to go back and finish my degree, even though I had, had about probably 40 credits that I was on the way to getting my degree with, and the school I was going to basically said that, we're not going to let you back in because it's been too long. So not only did I not have the means, they didn't want to let me back into my program. So I was really in a tight spot. But I had, read Neville Goddard. I had read all these personal development authors, all these spiritual teachers, the Bill Winstons, the T.D. Jakes, Kenneth Copeland's, Kenneth Hagin's, right? I had read all that, studied all that, listened to their sermons, their talks, and I had learned that, you have the power to speak that which you want over your life. So I had to put it to practice, right? And that wasn't the first time I had done it, but it was probably one of the bigger things that I had done it for. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm going back to school and I'm going to finish, right? And so I made a decision to go back and finish my degree. Now, the next step on the playbook path, right, that I've, essentially formulated, it's like a process, basically. It's like a checklist almost, and you just follow that pathway, and the results are, pretty predictable, So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this, right? So I had to start building my faith up. So every day I would get up, I would say, I have my degree. I've got my degree. I've achieved my degree, and I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that I achieved my degree. And I did this for a number of months. And then pretty much out of nowhere, I had the inspiration to call or email, I should say, the admissions department. And I emailed them and I said, I got a lot of credits here. I don't want them to just go to waste. And so, they gave me the same answer that, we're not going to let you back in. Okay, we're not going to let you back into the program because, too much time. I had taken some time off, And they said too much time has passed, and our requirements have changed, so we can't admit you back in. We have to admit you as a new student. And I said, well, I'm not going to do that because I'm not a new student. Okay? So, long story short, after a couple of back and forth emails, they suggested that I go into another degree program and I could use my credits. And that's exactly what I did. And I ended up being able to basically take up about 70% of the new degree's requirements. So I only had to take about a handful of courses, and I got my degree, and that's exactly what I did. And then I got in a job, because the job I was working at the time, I barely had enough, to pay bills, right? I didn't have a whole lot of left over, right? But that I was able to get another job, and that job paid me enough to be able to foot the bill for to go back. And then eventually I got an unexpected amount of money from my grandmother. My grandmother passed away, and she had left some money for me. And between that and the new job, I was able to finish. So I got my degree. I graduated the whole 9 yards. So I know that it was the work that I did, right? It was that faith. I had built my faith up, right? And I did some other things. I visualized and everything else. But I knew it worked, right? So, sometimes you get comfortable. You get comfortable and, you say, well, I'm living good and, things are going well. And then you have a week like I had last week where it was just rough, right? So many things went wrong. There was a project I was working on and that went wrong. Things took longer than expected. I felt overwhelmed. I felt burnt out. If I was able to quit, I probably would have, quit my job. And, it was just tough. It was a tough go of it. But I realized why it was tough. It's because I wasn't doing that pre-work. I wasn't doing that daily work, that faith work. I hadn't done my faith statements, hadn't done any of that stuff. I was just getting up and going to work because I was so behind. But sometimes you gotta stop where you are and realize that what you're doing is not working, And when you realize that, and it's like, okay, I've been doing all these things and it's not working. Like, what's going on? And for me, it was I wasn't doing those faith statements. I wasn't speaking over the situation. So what is a faith statement? What I normally say is that, today's going to be a very productive day. It's going to be a great day. Things are going to run smoothly, right? I basically speak what I want to speak over the situation before it happens. And the reason why that's a benefit and why it's a value and why you should do it is because when you wake up in the morning, you don't know what you're walking into, okay? You don't know what trouble you're walking into. You don't know what problems you're walking into. There may be a crap storm waiting for you on Monday morning, okay? And if you're not prepared to deal with it, it can feel overwhelming, right? We can hope for the best. We can hope that that nobody broke anything over the weekend, but the bottom line is that, and this is, whether you're working for someone or working for yourself, probably even more so if you're working for yourself. If you're not prepared for what's coming, then yeah, it's going to feel like an avalanche, and you're going to feel like you're drowning. And that's, we do these, this daily practice, we do these things not as a vanity or as a luxury. We do it as a necessity. And I think that that's something that I messed up on, right? But even the greats make mistakes, okay? Michael Jordan had 2,900 turnovers in his career. But no one talks about that. No one talks about the amount of interceptions that Patrick Mahomes drew, or, no one talks about those mistakes, right? But every great athlete makes mistakes, and you're going to make mistakes, okay? And just like I did, I made a mistake not doing the daily practice, and I knew better. I knew to do that, but I didn't do it. And as a result, things were rough. And they were rougher than they should have been. So in the morning, what I suggest doing, not just for myself, but for anyone who wants to participate in that, is that you have to speak that which you want to happen over your life, right? You have to speak what you want to happen for that day. So if you want to, if you're going for a loan or a job interview or a client, if you're making a sales presentation, okay, speak as if you got it. Speak as if it went well. Speak as if you won the business or you won the job interview and you got the position, you got an offer, right? Talk from the end. Don't talk about how hard it's going to be. Don't talk about, I hope they like me. Don't talk about, the process of it. Talk from the end. You do the mindset work to talk from the end, okay? You want to go to the end and as if you have it. And when you stop that work for the day and actually go into your day, the goal, what should be the goal, is that you should feel as if you have it. You should have a level of confidence. When you go into your day full of faith, then you're able to tap in to something higher than, your natural mind or your natural ability. You're able to tap into something higher. And throughout the day, don't just do it in the morning, like throughout the day, especially when things seem to be going a little wonky and a little off kilter, just go right back to it, okay? Because we speak our reality through our words. And if you don't realize that, just think about a time in your life when you've been super negative, right? And it seemed like things were going wrong, and all you were doing was just reflecting what you were seeing. You might think, man, nothing's working for me. I'm at my lowest point. You might be broke, you might be sick, you might be both. You might have, relationship issues, but you're just reflecting what you're seeing. And a lot of people think, well, what do you want me to do? Like, my life is rough right now, right? But what I'm saying is that it's rough because you're not speaking something different, okay? So I learned the hard way by having a hard week because I didn't say anything. And what I was doing was that I was reflecting what was going on around me. And, basically just recycling the same stuff over and over again. I kept telling my wife how hard my week was. I told my mom how hard my week was. Told my daughter how hard my week was. Told myself how hard my week was. And all I did was just create how hard the week was. I just kept creating more and more difficulty, right? And so I had to learn, and you're never too old to learn. You're never too experienced to learn because we're all learning just on different levels. Okay, so do that pre-work every single day. Do those faith statements. Speak over your job. Speak over your health. Speak over your finances. Speak over your family. Speak over everything that concerns you. And speak from the end. Speak what you want to happen. Okay? Don't speak what's happening unless it's something you want. Right? If things are going well, continue to speak that. But if things aren't going well, stop talking about it. Because when you talk, you create. And when you create, then you've got to uncreate with your words by creating that which you want to happen. And the more you speak what you want to happen, the more you're going to create what you want to happen. So, thank you so much for listening. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening to Playbook Radio. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with family and friends. And if you're ready to take the next step in your personal development journey, consider trying Mental Recoding by Playbook Strategies. These short audios are designed to help you reprogram your thoughts around different life subjects, such as finances, health, work, relationships, and much more. Click the link below to explore mental recoding products to help reshape your mind.